Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me, Larry the Batman fan. Hopefully, you guys can hear me better. I got a stand with this phone here to record. I'm recording this without my fan on, even though it's pretty warm out today, and it's pretty warm in here. But I want you guys to be able to hear me while I record this video. If this doesn't turn out the way I want it to be, then I'm just going to buy a microphone and hook that up and then film it like this so that way you guys can enjoy a little bit of the background here, like those posters we got in the background, and me talking without me being close up to the camera like this, because I know some of my fans have been complaining about that a lot, and I want to be able to project a good video where you can see more of me and the background behind me, the posters. Well, anyways, this was long overdue. I was going to be doing a top 20 PS Vita games. I was thinking top 15 or top 10. It's just not enough. I saw Azur Tony. He's a YouTuber who does gaming stuff. He's done top 20. And there's some other people that have done PS Vita top 10s and top 20s or top 15s. I figured I'd give you my impressions of the top 20 best PlayStation Vita games. Hang on a second, I'm sweating. Now, I don't have a lot of Vita games because I had to sell my Vita when I didn't have a job, and I sold all the games that I had. But I've played enough Vita games to be able to give you guys a top 20 here. So bear with me. And I did find a copy of Gravity Rush off of eBay recently for 40 bucks, and I was willing to pay that. $6 shipping, I think. So about 48 bucks. A little bit higher than I wanted to pay, but when the game's going for 70 to 100, I'm like, that's a good deal, I feel. So anyways, let's go on with the list. I will show some of the games that I have, but there's going to be a few that I fill in when I don't show the game because I don't have it. I also don't have Persona 4 Golden, but I have that coming in the mail, and Virtua's Last Reward, that's coming in the mail too. And God Wars. Anyways, let's get started. The number one game on the list, I don't currently have it, but it is coming in the mail. I've played it a lot. It's very good. It is Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush, in my opinion, is the best game on the Vita. I honestly don't understand why people don't put Gravity Rush at number one, because it was a system seller. It was that good. It's an action-adventure game where you play as a girl named Kat, and she flies through the area. She's got the power of flying through midair, and she also punches and kicks the bad guys. She's got a lady friend that she's friends with that she meets up with from time to time, and a cat that follows her around, a black cat. Yeah, it's a really good game. I really highly recommend it. I like the combat system in the game. It's a very fun time. I like the flying around aspect. There's not many games that have you flying around, except for maybe Dark Void. That's the only other one that I can think of. That game was okay, but it wasn't legendary like Gravity Rush. But Gravity Rush is a good game, so that's why it's number one for me. It's the best game on the system. Number two is Uncharted Golden Abyss. I highly recommend this if you guys are into Uncharted. It's also very good if you like third-person shooters. Really fun game. You play as Nathan Drake in the game. There's a guy and a girl that help you out in the game. Although later on, I think the guy betrays you, so it ends up just being you and the girl. She doesn't use weapons in the game. She refused to use a weapon in the parts of the game that I played, which is pathetic because she's just hiding behind shit and you're going around and killing the bad guys that get in your way. You're looking for artifacts and clues to open up doors and things like that, temples. It's really good, and there's some climbing aspects in the game too. We gotta climb from this side of the board to the left, or the left to the right, whichever it wants you to do. The only thing I didn't really care for was some of the annoying touch things on the screen, like when fighting the bad guys, punching them, kind of made you swipe up or swipe down like this. I didn't really care for that too much, but other than that, it was a very good game. I highly recommend it if you are a fan of Uncharted or you're looking for a good third-person shooter that works well on the Vita. This one is good. All right, we're on to the next title here. In my personal opinion, the next title goes to, actually, no, not this one. The next title goes to Persona 4 Golden. I'm getting this game in the mail very soon. It is a very good RPG game. It's definitely worth your time and money. Um, it'll cost you around 40 to 50 bucks unless you get lucky like me. I got it for 26 bucks plus tax. So about $28. It's a really good deal, especially when that game's going for a lot more. But it's an RPG series. They've made it since the first Persona game. I never played the first Persona, second Persona, or third Persona game. I don't know what the first two Persona games were on. Were they on PC or PS1? Please let me know in the comments section below because I have no idea. I know the third game was on PS2 and the fourth game was also on PS2, but they ported the fourth game and added some extras on the PlayStation Vita. And it's a very good game. Very excellent RPG series that I recommend you try out. The storyline is great, and I like the anime style of it. I'm not big on anime stuff, but I will admit the game was pretty damn good. Okay, now number 4, and this is going to be no surprise for you folks. There is going to be a lot of RPGs in here, because this is what the system is known for doing good, is the PlayStation Vita game, or rather, sorry, can't talk. The RPG games on the system is what made the Vita successful. Um, but don't worry, I am going to add a little variety in here. We're going to put one fighting game on here or two, and a couple of racing games, or at least one racing game, and some other unique type of games on here. So next is, we're at number 4. I would say would be Freedom Wars. This is a really good RPG. I highly recommend it if you guys like action RPGs. This is a good game. This is definitely one to buy if you have a Vita. I really enjoyed this game. It came out later on in the life cycle. It says 2014 on the back here. I don't know if you can see that, but where my finger is. 2014. So this was a couple years after the Vita came out. And it's just a really kick-ass game. Really awesome. I like the whacking of the sword. I like the storyline in the game. The girl that you play as. Actually, at the time when I had this game, first time I had it, I named the girl Vanessa because that was a girl that I was dating at the time. But of course now if I play it, I'm probably not going to name Vanessa because we're not together anymore. But this was a fun game. I liked it. Very good. I like the monsters that you fight. Kind of has that Monster Hunter type of feel to it a little bit. Although there is a part where you could end up in the dungeon, and if you're in the dungeon, you got to do all this unnecessary stuff just to get back to the main grid where you were out and about. That part really sucks. So make sure you don't end up in jail. Other than that, very good game. I highly recommend it. I don't know where this game is. I have it in my collection. I don't have it in the stack here, but I do own the game. That is Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. That is a very good game for the Vita. Definitely a fun one. Although it does seem like the frame rate dropped a little bit in that game. It wasn't as good as the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and the Wii U version of the game. Those were much better. It's also available on the 3DS. I own it for the 3DS as well. I'm a Batman fanatic, so I gotta have all the Batman games. Even if it's just a duplicate of a game that I have on a different system, I still want it in my collection. But that game is still pretty good for the Vita. It's definitely not a 9 or 10 um, in the ranks. It's not even an 8. It's more like a 6 or a 7, I'd say. But for the number 5 spot, I think it's a fair spot to put it at. It's a Batman game, beat 'em up style game. Go around, beat up the bad guys. Um, they swear at you occasionally. They say, "I'm gonna kick your ass" and things like that. Just beat the crap out of them. Don't let it happen though. I fight them and beat them. So it's a decent port, I'll admit. I do enjoy that game on the Vita and on the 3DS as well. So it's good. I recommend it. Number 6 is Fate Extella. This is a good game. This is an action RPG. It's not a strategy turn-based RPG. And the reason I say that is because the girl that you play as in this game is a princess of a castle. And so what you do, you have these guys that you can hire, right? And they kind of help you along. One becomes your butler. He helps you with your clothes, your panties, your underwear, your bras, your sweatsuits and all that other shit. And you also hire like a maintenance worker and a guy that will actually help you out in battle. Or he's kind of like a general. You command the general to send men out and fight when you don't feel like going out to fight. So I recommend it. It's a good time. It's definitely a fun action RPG game. There are parts of the game where you play as the princess in the game. There she is right there. And you do fight these bad guys on the screen. And it kind of has a little bit of Dynasty Warrior type of feel to it. The way you fight them and everything, with whacking your sword and whatnot, kicking ass. But it's definitely fun, and I definitely recommend it if you have a PlayStation Vita. And it's not expensive. It's only about $20 for a copy, so I'd recommend getting it. So now number 7 is Killzone Mercenary. This is a good shooting game. Besides Uncharted, Golden Abyss, although that's a third-person shooter, this is a first-person shooter. This is really good. The online play was excellent for this game when it was still up and running. The the shooting in the game really works. The storyline was really good. You know, I just highly recommend it if you're a fan of Killzone. They really did well with this game. It's like a 7 or 8 out of 10, but it is good. Definitely one you want to pick up if you have a Vita. And it costs you around 25, $30, but definitely worth the money for that price. Let's see. Number 8 for me has to be Collar Malice X. Man, I discovered this game from a YouTuber called Games of War. He spells games with a Z at the end, not an S. Yeah, he had this game in his collection, and he said it was about a detective, so it intrigued me. I picked it up years ago, but of course I sold my Vita, so I had to get it back in my collection. I found out later on they ported this to the Nintendo Switch. I did not know they ported this to the Nintendo Switch, but they did, and it's very good. You play as a female detective who wakes up. She gets killed, or not killed, but she's beat up really badly. She wakes up, she's in the hospital, she gets out of the hospital, and then she decides to find out who the hell it was who actually tried to kill her. And also in the same time, she ends up working with another cop in the game, and they work together to solve the murder because somebody was killed and you were knocked out unconscious. And when you wake up, you got to find out what am I doing here? All you remember is your name. You don't remember anything else about you. But then when you find out you're a cop and everything, you start to gain your memory back and then find out what happened. And then you go searching for this killer, this serial killer. It's definitely not a children's game. It is rated M for mature, for blood, drug reference, mild language or strong language, violence, and mild sexual themes, as you can see. But it is a good game if you're old enough to play it, or if your parents will let you play mature games. Definitely a fun one. It is a great game to play if you like visual novel, puzzle solving type of games. I definitely recommend it for that. Otherwise, if you're not into visual novel style games, you probably won't like this game. I'm usually not a fan of visual novel type of games, but this one's really good. This one I really enjoy. Collar Malice X. Number 9 for me is going to be Mortal Kombat. I don't own this on the Vita. I used to. It's very good. It's a good fighting game. It's also available on PS3 and Xbox 360. I have the PS3 version on the shelf there, over to the left of me. That's a really good game. I highly recommend it if you guys are a fan of fighting games. Plus, you get to play as Freddy Krueger in the game, for all you Freddy Krueger fans. And you also get to play as Kratos, so well worth it. And it's not expensive either. It's only about a $10 to $15 game, I assume. Maybe $20 at the most. But it's really worth the money, and it's a good time to play. You just want to get into a game, start beating the crap out of people. And it's not a kid's game either. It's M for mature because there's blood and gore and intense violence and fatalities in the game. But it's good. It's a good fighting game. Number 10 has to be Child of Light. Very good game. Good action RPG game. It's also available on the Nintendo Wii U and I think the PS4. It might be on that as well. I'm not entirely sure though, but I know it's on the Wii U. Very fun game. A little kiddie, but it's worth the time and money and investment into this game. And it's not expensive. About $20, maybe $25 at the most. Worth the money. Fun RPG platformer type of game. Child of Light. All right, we're not quite done yet. We're still going. Number 11, I do not own it. It is East Memories of Soletta. It's also spelled YS because it's a Japanese type of name for a game. But here it's pronounced East. It's a good game. I highly recommend it. It's a good RPG title. Really fun action RPG for the PS Vita. It's definitely worth owning, but it's expensive. It's around $40 or so, maybe $50 around that price range. So if you can afford it, definitely pick it up. I highly recommend it. Number 12 is this game right here, Mind Zero. This is a good tactical strategy RPG. It's very good. Not big on the strategy type of stuff, but this one's pretty good, I've heard. I only played a little bit of it, but from what I have played, it's like an anime style thing, and it's good. I recommend it. I think we're at number 13. Number 13 is Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasma. Chrono Phantasma, something like that. Phantasmia. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I just call it Blaze Blue. It's a good fighting series. I like most of them. There was one on the PlayStation 4 that really sucked, the cross tag battle one. That one they tried to combine RPG stuff into a fighting game, and it just didn't work. But all the other Blaze Blues games that I played have been really fun. You know, they use anime characters in this game, and then you put them together and they're fighting each other. It's good. It's a good time. I recommend it for PlayStation Vita owners. Alright, I gotta take a swig real quick. I'm getting hot too. We're almost done. Number 14 has to be Exist Archive. That's a very good game on the PS Vita. It's another RPG game, but it is cheap. It is a 4, but it's like $15 at the most. It might be 20 depending on where you buy it, eBay or DK Oldies. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's around the $15 to $20 range. It's not very expensive, but it's a good RPG game that's underrated, and I don't hear anybody talking about it, but it's good. I think we're at number 16 now. Number 16 is Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. That's a good game. Basically, it's these kids that go to a school and everything is okay until they lock the doors and everything, and then they start to wonder what is going on. Then they find out there's this evil teddy bear named Montezuma or something. He's like half black, half white color. He's evil, and he basically tells them that the only way they could leave is if they commit a murder. So, you know, you put through scenarios where you're roaming around and doing stuff. Yeah, I'll be down in a few minutes, bro. I'm busy right now. I'm filming right now. You gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Sorry about that, guys. So, yeah, they're, you know, exploring in the game, and you talk to certain people in the game, but eventually somebody gets killed. And I remember playing that game. I remember I started getting emotionally attached to this girl that I really liked in the game, and she even wanted to start dating me. And then at random, I find out she was killed. She's dead. And it's devastating, you know? And then they think that you're the one that killed them and you gotta, or killed the person, the girl or the guy, and then they gotta, have like a court session and you gotta like prove them otherwise that you didn't kill anybody, you know? And kind of put you through these QTE moments in the game, which I'll admit was a bit frustrating, but if you have the patience for it, you can get through that and get to the very end of the game. It's good. It's a good murder mystery type of game with puzzle solving. Number 17 is Zero Escape, Virtua's Last Reward. I couldn't forget this game. Have to put this game on the list. It is an excellent title. Definitely recommend it if you guys like murder mystery games. Plays very similar to Danganronpa, although it's part of the 999 series. That game originally started on the Nintendo DS. 9 persons, 9 hours, and 9 doors. Well, it's a sequel to that, and it's just done very well. You know, it's a puzzle game. You start off in an elevator, you and a girl, and you're trying to figure out how to put the pieces together so that way you can get off the elevator. And then when you get off the elevator, you find out a robot starts talking to you and a few other people. And then you find out you only have a certain amount of time to get in a room and then figure out puzzles and stuff. And if you don't go in the room, you're dead. It's one of those type of games. It's good. I recommend it. It's not an RPG though. It's more of a story-based puzzle solving type of game. Murder mystery game. It's good. Number 18 is Sonic All-Stars Racing Transform. That's a good racing game. I definitely recommend that if you have a Vita. It's easy to pick up and play. It's just a fun Mario Kart style racing type of game, but with Sonic characters instead. I like it. I own the game. I only have the cart though. Cart only. But it's good. I recommend it. It's also available on PS3, Wii U, and Xbox 360. Number 19 happens to be let's see, what would number 19 be? Lost Dimensions. That's a good game if you have a Vita. It's a good action RPG, or strategy RPG rather, with anime characters, and it's done very well. Very fun game to play. It's not cheap though. It's around $60 to $80 for a copy. I guess because it was a late release on the PlayStation Vita, but it is worth the money and the time. I don't own it currently, but I've seen gameplay on it. It's really good. Number 19 is The Walking Dead Season 2. That is a great game. It's really fun. The only problem with the game for me is there's too many blasphemies in that game. I mean, they curse God left and right in that game. It just, ooh, makes me cringe. I don't like that. But it's an interesting zombie game that the Telltale series made, and they did port the first and second season to the Vita. They were also available on the PS3 and Xbox 360, but whatever version you get is fine. You play as Clementine in the game, and there are other people in the game that you meet, like Kenny and this girl, I forget her name. Some of the characters are more interesting than others. But through the game, you fight zombies in the game, and you get to shelter and you try to stay safe, you know. And you also got to get food in your stomach and supplies in the game, like guns and axe and crowbars and things like that to fight the zombies. You know, it's really good. Good action title, good horror title. Definitely worth your money, and it's not expensive. It's about $20, $25. And number 20 is Dungeon Siege Alliance, or Dungeon Hunter Alliance. Not the greatest RPG on the system. There's definitely more RPGs on the system worth getting, but it is a good game. It plays very similar to Gauntlet. If anybody's ever played any of the Gauntlet games, it plays kind of like that, but it's good. I recommend it for fans of RPGs or dungeon crawlers. And it's not expensive, it's about $20. For the honorable mentions for the PlayStation Vita, we have Unit 13. That is a good third-person shooter. I definitely recommend that if you guys like third-person shooters. Resistance Burning Skies is a good first-person shooter, a game on the PS Vita. It's definitely worth your money. Not expensive at all. X-Blaze, that's a good action RPG on the system. Definitely worth buying. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, that's good if you like horror type of puzzle solving, story based type of game. It's not really an RPG. It's more of a visual novel, story, puzzle solving game. It's got multiple genres rolled into one, but it's good. Uh, Borderlands 2 made a port on the Vita. It's okay. It's not bad. Not as good as the Xbox 360 version, but it's still fun. I also do recommend Walking Dead Season 1. I put the second one on there, but the first one's good. They might have made Walking Dead Season 3 for it. Wipeout 2048, that's a good racing game for the system. There might be another East game on the Vita. I'm not entirely sure. Steins Gate, that's good. I think there was another Steins game on there. Deathmark is a good survival horror game. It's also on the Switch and I think the PS4, but it is good if you like being scared and puzzle solving in games. I couldn't play that game for very long. It scared the shit out of me, really. Too scary for me. Silent Hill. There's a Silent Hill game on the Vita, and it's good. But it's even though it's horror related, it plays more like a dungeon crawler. To be honest, it's the only Silent Hill game like that. Um, and I also recommend Earth Defense Force 2. That's good if you like third-person shooter games where you kill bugs and monsters in the game. That's fun. So those are some of the honorable mentions for the PlayStation Vita and the PlayStation Vita Top 20. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. God bless you all, and thank you very much for watching. Take care. And don't forget to subscribe, too. I appreciate the subscriptions. We want to get up to 300 by the end of this year. Hopefully, we will get there soon. God bless you all, and take care, and thank you for watching. Bye.